I'm Coach Reginald Huff, and you're watching Average Joe's Sports Talk.
I'm Stewart, and you're watching Average Joe's Sports Talk.
All right, Coach Huff, it's been a while since we got to talk to you. Last time we talked, going into the end of basketball season, what's been going on in your life outside of basketball before we get started from then till now?
Well, this summer I got in a whole lot of golf.
Oh, I didn't even know you played.
Yeah, I love to play golf. I think I played probably 48 days out of 25. I play about twice a day, man. I enjoyed it. Yeah, played a lot of golf. We played. Got a lot of work in this summer in the gym with the guys in June. Played a couple of play dates. Got into the weight room in the fall. Got the guys going good, and really excited about what's going on.
That's what I was about. That was my next question, actually. Walk us through a typical off season for you. What that looks like. Basically, from the end of basketball season, pick up there, and then
end of basketball season. After basketball season, we give guys a little while off, and then we start immediately in the weight room. Maybe about a week or two off, and then we go immediately into the weight room. And then we'll get ready for our spring training, spring workouts. We'll have guys come out that want to try to play the following season. Then we'll bring them in. We do a camp the first week we're out of school, usually Memorial Day week, and then after that we go straight into our summer season where we go to play dates, and we have 3 weeks to play as many games as we possibly can, and we try to get as many in as we can. Then from there we do our summer workouts. We come in the mornings, we do our ball handling drill, weight room, a lot of shooting, just getting the guys prepared, working on their skill sets, finding out what their weaknesses is, trying to strengthen them, finding out what their strengths are, and try to get them even stronger. And then we'll go into when school start back. Those guys that are not playing other sports, we have them in our 4-block conditioning class, and we go real hard in the weight room, real hard on the track, do a whole lot of conditioning, go through a strong conditioning program. We do bleacher work and all that kind of stuff, and then we do a lot of skill training with some of our guys on our 3-on-1 with the coaches. And then when October come around, we get ready for practice. And so this year we happen to have 11 of our 15 guys playing football. So we were going to start it regardless, whether they were still playing football or not. We had some guys on the JV that was just going to pull up and keep it rolling, So, but we got them back. We got them back a week before we played our first game. Actually, we had about 8-9 practices before we went to Paul Bryant, and they worked their tails off. They came in, they worked really, really hard.
Now, last season you had a really good group of seniors led by D. Pearson. All those guys are gone now. What's some of the new faces we need to look forward to seeing on this year's squad?
We had a lot of young guys that played alongside D. Pearson that you're going to see familiar faces. Jay Lawson, strong point guard. He played a little bit up and down last year. JV and varsity, he'll be a junior this year. DeMarcus Maker, another guy that played up and down a lot last year. Really strong shooter, really strong ball handler, good rebounder. Both of those guys are. Hicks, another guy that attacked the basket really well, very strong body, really good defensive player. He played a little bit up and down. Guys that played last year that's going to really make an impact on us this year is my nephew Jalen Huff. Jalen Huff has really turned his shooting up to a whole nother level. plays really good defense. Very disciplined athlete. Worked hard in the weight room, got stronger. But his shooting really is going to impress a lot of people. Quinton Densmore also played last year. One of our greatest defensive stoppers.
I would say very good defender.
Yeah, very good defender. Waiting him to get his rhythm back. He was playing football as well. But we expected him to play a big impact on what we do this year, especially with his skill set on defense. And the biggest asset I think this year is Trey Woods. Trey Woods, he worked very hard in the offseason.
He's fast.
He's quick, he's fast, but the biggest thing, he worked on his scoring, worked on his shooting, he's worked on his attitude. His attitude changed, and his whole game went to a whole nother level.
That's good.
And he's one of the greatest captains we've had so far, up until now, that I've ever had, that pushes the guys. They listen to him. He's a leader. Rod Orr, we expect him, when he gets in shape, he played football as well, when he gets in shape, we expect him to dominate, especially our area. We expect him to dominate the area. We expect him to be dominant in the region. He's going to be a big key to us, getting to Jacksonville and getting out of Jacksonville.
No doubt.
We have a new addition, and we're hoping that he's going to be able to come in there. If he comes in healthy, he's supposed to be released in a couple of weeks, but Ricky is going to play with us this year, so that's going to give us some more inside strength on the inside. And he's an awesome basketball player and an awesome kid, so we're excited about him. And then Philip, he didn't play last year. Philip Hunter, he did not play last year, but he is one heck of a athlete. Big guy, about 6'6", can really get up and down the floor, really hustles. So we're excited. He's kind of going to give us what Calvin Wilson gave us last year.
He's a very good long defender, guard many positions.
Yes, yeah.
You just played Paul Bryant in a gritty game. Actually, Jay Lawson hit the buzzer beater in that game. What did you learn about this team, going on the road and playing a team like that?
Going into an environment like that was, it was a special thing for us to do. It was just a test, It's not that we did anything, but we went in and we competed. We want to know that we compete. But the biggest thing I found out about this group is that I got two sophomores that they handled that thing, that environment like they've been there 1,000 times. My nephew Shamar Huff and Malik McKinney, those two kids are two phenomenal sophomores that between the two of them only had one turnover between the both of them.
Man.
And they played big minutes.
In an early game like this.
In an early game. And I think Shamar Huff gave us our first lead. He hit a three out the corner and gave us our first lead of the game. Yep. In the closing of the fourth quarter. But I'm excited that the pressure didn't cause us to turn the ball over as much. So I was really excited about that, because at the 7A level, we're going to see a lot of pressure.
Oh, yeah.
We shot the ball fairly well, but we battled. We battled from behind, and we never lost our composure. We never got to a place where we just wanted to give up. And they got a really good team down in Paul Bryant.
Absolutely. Now, you've had the football team out here for a little over a week or so now. How long does that transition usually take for a normal player to get basketball legs under them and get some of that rust off?
We've really gone hard, but I'm going to say, for them to get into that basketball rhythm, and just really be fluid, I think it's going to take us up to Christmas. I think it's going to take us a month and a half, to catch up to guys that has been in the gym, all summer, all fall. It's going to take that long to get your rhythm down. We're going to have some nights where they may have good nights scoring, and then they may not throw it in the ocean the next night. That's going to happen until we get into our rhythm.
Absolutely. What's some of the key positions that you know that you're going to have to see some guys step up in this season?
We got a lot of guys that we're going to throw in around that post area because we just, for instance, we went down to Paul Bryan and Rod Orr, 6'7", he fouls out. Then Philip Hunter, 6'6", he fouls out. So we had Zion Williams, Norris, and Quinton Densmore all step up in that 5 spot, man. And they're big guards, but they can play that 5 spot. And man, we probably got better.
Got faster?
Especially in transition.
I got you. Now, here's something outside of basketball a little bit, but I noticed that you were on the sidelines a lot during football season, supporting Ollie Smith and the football team. How big for the school, Gadsden City, moving forward, do you think that is to have a coaching unity like that, helping each other?
Oh man, Coach Smith and I are really good friends. Always have been. He's going to do a great job. He's going to get those kids rolling once you get the system going. We're just excited. But he and I have a very good rapport. The guys can't play us against each other. And a lot of times you see that happening in high school. Yeah, but he and I, we stay in communication. His son plays on our basketball team, and he's at every game and most practices. So and then when I go down to support him, and we just we're good friends.
That's good. I love it. Lastly, Coach, what do you want to see out of these guys this year? Not necessarily from a wins and loss standpoint, but just like what do you want to see as a coach with Gadsden City this year in general?
One thing we're talking about is we just want the guys to show discipline in everything that we try to do, every aspect of their game and of their life. And what we describe as discipline is, we an acronym that says doing it so correct, it's perfectly loaded information, never errors.
Love it.
And that's just what we try to do. Every time we do something, we want to do it so correct, that we're not trying to ever do it wrong. And the other thing, I want the guys to give us perfect effort every single night. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna turn the ball over. We're gonna miss shots, but just give us the effort. And I feel like if we do that, we'll give ourselves a chance to go as far as we are good enough to go. And I think we're good enough to go to the Final Four. And I think we're good enough to contend for a state championship.
That's awesome.
I really do.
Thanks so much, Coach. All right, Bo, it's been a while since we talked to you, my man. What's been going on in your life outside of sports, outside of basketball?
Just spending time with my wife and my family. I'm very fortunate I think I have the greatest coach's wife ever. She allows me to work on my craft and keeps me grounded. And, so any opportunity I get to be able to spend time with her because of this hectic time coming up is, we're going to the movies and just hanging out.
So talk us through a typical off season as far as, I talked to Coach Huff about this. From your perspective, what does your typical off season look like for your guys?
For my guys, I'm getting guys that played 9th grade and they get a lot of work from Coach Jodine the year before. So what we do is we just continue to implement our system, and we usually get them start spring training in May. So we have May to June to play and get ready for team camps, and so we're getting in here working on skill work and just implementing offense and defense and just preparing kind of for, I guess, the summer season basically.
Now you guys do a lot of weight room lifting. Who's some of the weight room warriors you have on this team right here?
We've got a bunch. I know we've got on the varsity. I know Jaden Lawson. He's really been putting in work. I know some of our underclassmen. CJ on the JV. He's an animal. He's an animal in the weight room. But we've got a lot. We've got a few. Trey Woods has really put a lot of time in the weight room. To get himself stronger. From his junior season going into his senior season.
And you had some guys that moved up last year that played halfway through the season. What are some of the guys, key guys that you're going to have to replace from a JV standpoint coming up this year?
Yeah, we're gonna have to replace some athletes. We lost pretty much my whole JV is gone. A lot of years we'll have guys that come back and play, but this year it's pretty much we're pretty much all of them. So it's really
You got the one and doneers.
I got the one and doneers. Yeah.
Does that sometimes find it more difficult for you from a coaching standpoint?
It does, but I've got a special group this year. These guys are really coachable, and they can shoot it. And when you got shooters, it makes your job as a coach a little bit easier. So I'm excited. They're going to be a fun group.
What do you think your main purpose is as the JV coach here? I know obviously to support Huff, but what else do you think?
I think number one, first and foremost, is to get them ready for not just the varsity, but when the JV age, a lot of them are getting cars and their life's changing, and they think they're men, but they're not, and they get girlfriends, and you have to keep them grounded. But at the same time, as a coach, you got to remember what it was like to be 16. You're 15, 16 years old. So a lot of times you have to have personal conversations with them about taking care of themselves. They want to stay up late, they want to stay on the phone, talk to girlfriends, they get able to drive, so I think I just try to get them. We have a saying about we don't want to have a JV mentality. Most JV mentalities they're not quite as mature yet as varsity. Well, our group, we have a saying, if they do something in practice, I'll say, that's a JV mentality. So now they're saying it. Somebody will do something, they'll say, hey, that's a JV mentality. We don't want a JV mentality. We want a varsity mentality at the JV level.
I like that a lot. So how many guys did you have that was on the football team? I know Coach Huff had, 11 out of 15?
Yeah, we had, I'm going to say, probably 6 maybe. We had about 12 out here that wasn't football, and then we had about 6. We've got a lot of guys that we decided to keep that have a lot of potential. So we probably had around 6 or so.
Man, now is there a friendly rivalry when those guys get back from football with the guys who's been already humping?
Yeah, there is. We usually let them go at it a little bit. And
let them establish a pecking order.
And it shows because the pace we play at a NASCAR speed, and football conditioning is totally different than basketball conditioning, and they see right away that we got to get in basketball conditioning real quick.
How long does that take, in your opinion, for I asked Coach Huff the same question, before a guy not only gets his basketball legs up under him, but his shot and his rhythm and his dribbling and his timing and all those other different things? I
think probably maybe a month, maybe. Now, we have some that come in here and they shoot in their off, during football season. They may come in here and get some shots up just to keep their shot kind of, in the groove. But the condition is the biggest thing that we see, and it usually takes about a month of playing. So usually, around maybe about the end of December, we finally start getting that conditioning that we need.
I love it. Is there a gray area that you operate your guys on where you don't just cut them loose? Because if they start dominating, Coach Huff may say, hey, Bo, I need to bring him on up here.
No, I mean, because that's my job. And if they're playing good for me and they're able to go up to the varsity, I feel like a proud father. They go up there and start having success, and I'm just like, oh wow, that's great.
Hey, you guys that played at Paul Bryant lost a tough one. What did you learn about these guys? Some positives and some negatives.
Yeah, they constantly cheered. They really, really cheered. We really had a bad start, and then we came out the second half and we outscored them, 36 to basically 36 to 16 in the second half. We just ran out of time. We played 6-minute quarters, and
because of the travel.
Yeah, the travel. I just think I think they're just first game. Paul Bryant's very athletic. I would have loved to have had another quarter to play. I think that we would have had an opportunity.
Or even 8-minute quarters.
Yeah. But they never pouted. They just kept cheering each other on, and I was very proud of them.
Now that you got everybody out here and they've kind of seen them, in battle, and got some of the football guys in here. What's your expectations for this team? Not necessarily from a wins and loss standpoint, but just expectations in general.
Our expectations is to, from a basketball standpoint, is to become better decision makers on the court. The practices that we have are designed to develop decision making. We like to play in practice. Like right now, is my least favorite practice is we're having to install, and I hate basically running offense and defense without one out there, but we're trying to get the offense in, the defense in, but mostly every day at practice we're playing and we're doing advantage, disadvantage drills to work on our decision making. So from a basketball standpoint, it's decision making, because really a lot of these guys, skill wise, are close to being varsity ready, but they're either not ready from a decision making standpoint or mentally. So from a basketball standpoint, it's decision making. From an overall standpoint, it's learning how to become men.
I love it. All right, well, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.